Should be alright.
You alright?
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
What's up?
So
We are back.
was this episode 3 technically? Though?
Technically, episode 3.
So this is episode 3.
2.5 to 3.
Yep.
Yeah. So
2.5 to 3.
last time we recorded, camera kind of fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
but
We got an upgrade as well. You might be watching this and it might be a bit clearer.
yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
But we'll do like a little continuation off of last time.
Yep.
But overall, it's kind of just like, what are we talking about?
Injuries.
Injuries, yep.
Injuries and how do you
Rehabs.
overcome it? Yeah.
And
Like what? We ended off with me.
Yeah.
Did we even get to that
I
part?
don't think we
not
did.
really.
Well,
I
if you
mean-
guys saw it, you guys saw it.
If
Quick
not,
summary,
if
I
you-
got hurt.
if
Bam,
you know,
bam,
you
bam,
know.
done.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
you know.
Yeah. Well, so let's start with. I guess let's go with more David, because then I think a lot of people don't really know what really a chiropractor does for lifters or for athletes in general.
Yep.
So, what would you say is like the like? What do you do for people?
What do I do?
Good question. Okay, good question. I'm like, no. Basically, what we do, what I do specifically, I know I can't speak for other people. Basically, we want to assess them, see if there's anything weak, if there's anything overworking, anything underworking. Focus on that. Seeing, obviously, releasing soft tissue, doing adjustments to kind of get them from a very stiff position to like a more mobile.
Yeah.
Working with Tony as well, going through powerlifting techniques. That's where I'm lacking quite a lot at the moment, but I'm still learning. But this is where me and Tony work together. We kind of figure out what's wrong with your body and try to solve it from there.
Damn, there's something wrong with my body.
Yeah. Everything.
Everything.
Oh man.
But yeah, one of the biggest things I've learned is that not one shoe fits all.
Yeah. Definitely,
Yeah.
Have you had people that like you feel like you don't match up with, and like you kind of you refer them to someone else, not because like maybe you don't know what to do, but it's also like you feel like they can get better results elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remy is the one I referred. No, that time I was really new to knee stuff, and then one of my mate, shout out to Chanel Evolve Physio, he specializes with knee stuff. So anything that I think that I can't do or I need advice, he's my go-to guy. Definitely there's people out there that specialize in certain areas. If anything, I always ask questions, a lot of trial and error. If I can't solve it and then it's just like I become blank, that's when I start referring.
Yeah.
But there's no shame in that, by the way. Your ego gets hurt, but at the end of the day, you're treating the person, not yourself. So
Yeah. It's the same thing
Yeah.
with like coaching as well. It's like there are a lot of things that I don't know. Like if you even with like me and Tommy, like Tommy started 3 years ago or whatever, and the level of knowledge that I had back then versus now, it's so different.
yeah.
And it's just from like asking people. Like,
Yeah.
Like, it's researching your own stuff, and it's going
Surrounding
through-
yourself with like
going
people
through your own
different, yeah.
experiences of like how my lifting goes well and what makes my lifting go well, and doing the same thing with like Tommy and other people, where it's like, this worked well for me, let's try it with you. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And if I really just get stuck, then it's either trial and error, which is something else, but also just asking other coaches like, what do you do in this scenario?
Yeah.
And taking that, learning from that, and kind of just like making it your own in a way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I understand this now, and this is when I would use this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's the same thing.
Yeah. I know in the PT world, there's a lot of PTs coaches who has a lot of egos, or they are not the too prideful to kind of ask questions, or it's like their way or kind of the highway kind of thing. How do you deal with that, or how do you identify that in a coach?
It's hard because it's like when a client goes to a PT or a coach, sometimes it's their first time going to someone.
Yeah.
So it's hard to even know I don't know what a good experience is.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to someone and they could be good or bad for you, but it's like you don't really have anything to compare it to until you go to someone else.
Yeah.
But some people just don't have that opportunity. Which
Yeah.
it's just hard to kind of figure out. But I
Yeah.
think the important thing is just like understanding what you want out of an athlete, like as an athlete. Like like me personally with Steve, like I don't talk to Steve much,
Mm.
but like I don't feel like I need to.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, there's other clients that need the constant support,
Mm.
and that's fine too. Some coaches give that, some coaches don't.
Yep.
And that's where you kind of like you'll learn within like the first few weeks of like, okay, this is somewhere that I feel comfortable progressing in, or this is somewhere that I don't feel good in, and it's like you just need to move to somewhere else.
Mm.
And it's like it's the same thing with like a lot of other things in life too. Like you don't just pick one career and just be like, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you might get lucky and find that, but it's like until you try something else, it's like, oh, this is even better.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it's really just you don't know till you try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you told me, how do you kind of,
Why'd you go to me?
yeah, or
Why not
what
go to
makes,
Tony?
how would you be like, as a powerlifter yourself, how can you identify, oh, this guy not a great coach, or he's got a lot of ego, I can't learn from him? What makes you kind of know, oh, he or she's not the one for me,
Why am I better than other people?
or they, them?
I just Tony just we built like we're more like a friend basis now, to the point where like it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like you kind of know them depending.
What was that?
Depending on the person as well. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
walked in and I got kind of scared, you know. It's scary at this time.
Ghost of
But yeah, when I first saw Tony, it was like, oh wow, this guy's pretty cool. He's deadlifting a lot. But when I started with him, it was very like, it wasn't baby feeding, like he wasn't feeding me or anything. Like it was just like, he was very knowledgeable, even at that time. Like I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck? Like what's happening? And then it'll be like, oh, all right, never mind. Like he actually understands what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I kind of just trusted him through there.
Yeah.
And then it's worked out. So like, maybe I won't move. No, I'm joking. But yeah, you kind of just have to build them for like a long
Yeah.
time. I don't really think like 3 weeks is like enough for me, in my personal
Yeah,
opinion.
everyone's kind
Like-
of got a different, just like onboarding.
Yeah,
period,
if
I
you
guess.
if you come in new, you need some time to adjust because maybe your mentality shifts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
started off as a bitch. Like I'll complain about, I'll still do complain, but like
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh man, you know. But like after being with Tony, I kind of shifted that.
Yeah.
So now I kind of, there's times where I'm really good and I know when to solve shit myself, and there's times where I'm like, man, fuck this guy, I'm gonna make this guy do it for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's times like that, and like especially when we're getting a bit more not advanced, but like more into powerlifting, I'm kind of like working alongside Tony
Yeah.
with like my own program.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because like I'll be like, oh, I want to do this, and he'll just be like, why the fuck do you want to do it then?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh fuck, yeah. Like he
Yeah.
knows how to. You need a coach that kind of puts you in their pace.
Yeah.
But it depends on the person. Like I said, some
Yeah.
people need more guidance than others, like Tony said. Some people need somebody that's super nice. Some people need somebody that's super rough. Just Steven. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they don't talk, but
It's just-
it just depends on the person.
The
very,
relationship
very
between
like
the two.
individualized. Yeah.
How would you identify someone, without naming, or like someone as a bad coach? Like, what it would be a trait where you're like, oh, this is a bad trait to be a coach, or
No, I guess like what are the key things you
Key
look for?
things,
Like
yeah.
key characteristics, I guess.
for the people out there who are maybe struggling or think they may be in that position or not, or they're too afraid to ask, or yeah, what would be some of the key things?
I feel like there's no really bad coach. It's just what they believe in. Some people just believe in different types of stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine by them, you know what I mean? If that it might work, it might not work. So like I don't think there's a bad coach.
Yep.
As long as the coach is still communicating with you, then it's perfectly fine. Because program is very subjective, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything could work. In this shit, anything could work. You could chuck Tony like 4 by thousands and like it might work, who knows? You know, it's very subjective. But the main things with a coach to kind of identify if they're bad or not is probably communication. Like if they aren't like talking to you normally, properly,
Yeah.
then I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Especially because it's a service at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And they're there to help you
Yeah.
to reach your goals, powerlifting, bodybuilding, whatever you want.
Yeah.
So if they're not able to communicate to you how you want it, and they can't really individualize how they are speaking to each person, each of their clients, then they're not good.
Because communication would be your big
Yeah.
one. But you, Tony?
I would say communication too.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
communication is probably like one of the more important things of
Yeah.
like, it goes both ways where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
if if the athlete isn't communicating with the coach, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, so like it's both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But it could be a bad athlete, bad coach.
Yeah.
Either way.
it's just a bad mix.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what kind of communication do you need? Like, do you need constant reassurance of like, and some people do weekly check-ins. I personally don't. I just do like the session thing, and I am fine with that. Where it does get like a little bit hard sometimes, but it's like I'm okay with dealing with that. But I just don't enjoy the talking to someone once a week thing.
Yeah.
I like building the relationship with people,
Yeah.
and the more I can build that relationship with people, the easier it is to understand how they're actually feeling. Because a lot of people are just like, I think everyone kind of goes through a phase where like they feel a certain way, but they also don't say it. They're like scared to say it because of how someone might react.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like that's just when you're guiding someone through that process, it's making sure you're giving them the freedom to say what they need to say so that we can make the progress we want to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, it's interesting. I think like like Tommy said, I don't think there's bad coaches. Everyone just has different philosophies of how they go about communication, programming, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's the same thing with you as well, like with Kairos, where it's like you
Yeah.
said, it's not one shoe fits all,
Yeah.
one size fits all. It's like different physios, Kairos have different processes of how they diagnose things or how they
Yeah.
introduce rehab.
Yeah.
And like I've gone to 2 or 3 different people before you, and every and everyone's different.
Yeah.
But it's like
Am I the best?
yeah, it's
Sometimes.
yeah, but it's like they all work. I don't think I've ever gone to someone where it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just different approaches.
Yeah.
What do you believe in? Like, you know how there's shit that goes around. It's like, physio and like chiro is like a myth, like it's placebo.
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
It's all about principles.
I think it's true.
Yeah,
I think it's true. Nah, it depends
I just
on.
milk your money.
Again, it is belief and
Yeah.
what your principles are.
Yep.
If you say like an adjustment does this, and this, when there's no evidence base around it, then obviously that's placebo or whatnot. But
Yeah.
if you were to like, let's say, release a joint, kind of make you feel a bit more loose, a bit better, then it's actual evidence behind it. Then it's true. Then
Yeah.
it's not placebo. But then obviously, that's my way of teaching you guys whenever time I adjust, right? You know, when I adjust you guys is to help you guys feel better and be better,
Yeah.
right? I don't say anything weird stuff. So it's not placebo. It's like my principle, but it works kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But obviously, again, with chiro and physio or any treatment in general, there should be an ideal way to treat someone. There is an ideal way, actually. Again, not every person prefers one person. If it works for you, it works for you at the end of the day. So, yeah, it's a fine line in that industry as well. But at the end of the day, if your patient feels happier, they objectively feel better, both physically and mentally,
Yeah.
you're doing your job.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't feel physically or mentally good. Doesn't mean Tony's a bad coach.
Works both ways. Yeah. But what makes a good chiro and a bad chiro? For me, it's think of it as past, present, and future kind of thing. So for the past, let's say in the past, you want to talk about the history, you want to see who they are as a person, you want to study them, you want to know who they are as a person, right? And as in the present is what you can do for them in this very moment. So releasing them or adjustments or cupping, triangling, etc. And for the future, it's what your short-term and long-term plan you have with them. So rehab, how to strengthen, how to make your life easier, instead of sitting there for 8 hours, like education, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So if any physical therapist hits all those 3, then ideally they're like a good practitioner.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, some people don't do that. Some people do. If the patient feels happy of what they're currently getting serviced by, then it is what it is. Who am I to say that it doesn't work?
Say that to Remy, guys. He just squashed his finger. Yeah. I was trying so hard not to laugh because I heard Ricky laugh and I was like, oh, bro, Tommy, don't laugh. Tommy, don't laugh. Tommy, don't laugh. Tommy, don't laugh. And he's full just like,
Remember last episode how we said Remy was very injury prone? Exhibit A.
what was it? Where is it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's even with like people like Remy too, like people that are pretty injury prone. It's like
Clumsy.
if you
Clumsy.
if you didn't communicate with him, you wouldn't know that he was very injury prone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
You have
yeah.
to-
The thing is, obviously, like I said, past history and whatever it is.
yeah, like you
the
have
past-
to adjust to that
yeah, the
too.
thing
Like
is-
you, because like say, oh yeah, a question that I want to ask you too. Like, depending on like previous history and like, maybe someone does a lot of sports and someone doesn't do a lot of sports.
Yeah.
But they have a similar injury.
Yeah.
Do you treat them a different way? Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of concept of like,
Yeah.
okay, like it all depends on what they've done in the past
Yeah.
to figure out how to get them better for the future.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Bro,
Also,
this is like interstellar, bro. Past, present, future.
Yeah.
Like my brain is full. Like,
I mean, basically, we
fuzzy
don't
as
even know where the
shit.
fuck we're at with the
Yeah,
podcast.
like, I'm fuzzy as shit right now. Like,
also-
I'm like borderline sick as shit, and I'm like hearing like past, present, future. Like I'm fucking in a circle right now. I'm in a paradox, bro.
Well, it definitely helps being in this gym. I mean, in house car as well. You know, you're here every day. You know, to get to know the people.
Yeah.
You know the personality. So knowing Remy's already injury prone is kind of like, oh, well, saw this coming, but how can we do this to kind of, you know,
So it's kind of, I didn't think it was this bad.
yeah. Or like, you know, people like who are very quiet about the injuries. We just say, hey, it's been a while since I checked up on you. How have you been? And then like, oh yeah, I've been pretty bad. It's like, oh okay, because that person.
Why don't you say something?
Why don't you say something? But there's some people who are very vocal about what they feel, and they're very they're very vocal every day about it. So yes, me like a lot of reassurance. So getting to know them, seeing them every day does help a lot.
I love seeing Simon get better because he won't stop talking about
Oh,
it.
no, he won't.
It's
Oh
like,
my
God, bro.
it's in the
Yo,
most,
bro,
it's in the
I just
most
got so
wholesome
much better
way.
'cause-
It's so wholesome, bro.
Yeah.
It's like he will walk up to every individual person and be like, "Bro, I had knee pain last week. This week, no knee pain."
Yeah.
No, it's all gone, all gone, all gone.
He shows
All
you his
gone.
phone. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this. Oh, then look at this.
And it's
Look at
always
this.
Snapchat. He's always pulling up Snapchat because he doesn't record it normal.
Does boost my ego though, but
Yeah, but yeah, seeing people like that, it's like really fun.
yeah, it makes your life makes your job worth it. kind of
Yeah.
thing. When it comes to bad coaches, is it okay or is it hard to move coaches?
I would say it's pretty. It depends.
No,
on,
it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it's pretty easy. You just
What
tell
would you
them-
say if I was a bad coach?
If hypothetically if it was me and Tony right now,
Yeah.
I would just look at him. Done. Nah, it's fucking hard. It's
I
fucking
think it
hard.
depends. I think it depends on the lifter themselves.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I feel like higher level athletes have an easier time moving away.
Oh really?
Because
Because
they're
it's like-
they're very like tunnel vision what they want. If they're not getting that, they'll just be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with somebody like a beginner lifter, it's very hard for them because they strive off like
Yeah, especially when you build a relationship with them
Relationships,
too. When
yeah.
you build a relationship with them, they're so used to it, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's very weird to me.
Yeah.
Like I've had people that I've had a few people leave where it's like some people are like scared to start the conversation because like what if it fucks up everything else?
Yeah.
like what if the friendship also gets messed around?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
But like for me personally, like I don't really. If you want to leave, you can leave.
Yeah.
Do you remember? He didn't let me leave. Do you remember the time to plus for this?
Yeah, that gunpoint.
Do you remember
Yeah,
that? Yeah. Like there was a point in time. Was it like?
Like I'm gonna try to convince you to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fully remember I was having this like midlife crisis. I was like, damn, I ain't moving. Like the shit feels ass. And then my dumb ass, instead of like talking to my coach,
You talk
I
to
was-
someone else. You talk to-
I talked to Vincent.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then Vincent was just like, did you talk to him about this already? Like whatever you just told me, did you ever
Yeah.
talk to him? I was like, no. And he was like, oh, maybe talk to him first, you know?
Yeah.
So that's
we
where
did-
it goes
yeah.
back to the whole communication thing. Where
Yeah.
it's like if I don't know that you're not happy with how you're progressing, then
Yeah, and then it's
how
not
do I
gonna-
know that
yeah.
I need to change something? Yeah.
And then I remember we had that conversation in like the office, and it was just like, oh damn, maybe I should have talked to him first before considering to leave.
Yeah, I
because
think.
then like I forget what it was, but it was like we talked about what progress we actually made and how you feel right now.
Oh, it was also like the friend
Oh,
coach
yeah,
relationship as well. Cause like during that time we were like just straight homeboys, you know, like homos. I can't say that, can I?
You already said it. It's too late.
But yeah, like we were homeboys, and like we just completely forgot about that coach client kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I kind of wanted at that time. I wanted more like strictness. I think I fucked up because now I wish for it and like it's getting a bit, you know,
Yeah.
it's too much now.
It's fine.
Yeah, but
You should see your next block name.
I already it's gonna probably be like some like blocked up or something. blocked up or something. I'm like blue ball or something. It's gonna be that again, man. But yeah, like at that time, we got too close friend wise, like,
Yeah.
as friends,
Yeah.
and like I liked it because like it was easier talking to him. But then we'll talk about lifting. This is one of the problems. We'll talk about lifting, and it'll be like, "Oh yeah, we'll play Valorant." Like we completely forget about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But it's bad on both of us.
Yeah.
you know
It's
what I
like we
mean? 'Cause-
lose the whole like, okay, do your shit.
and
Yeah.
then we'll go do like the fun shit. You know, what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
we just sidetracked really, really hard during that
Yeah.
time, and I hated it because I'll be like, "Oh fuck, I had this problem, but like we've completely forgot about it, and like I forgot what it was. So what do I do?"
Yeah.
But yeah, after talking to him, it was just a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then we kind of know now.
Kind of draw the lines.
Yeah.
Draw the line. Yeah.
Well, there's no line anymore. It's just
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's where it's like you. The
we
more
just
you,
gotten so close. Like there's no line anymore.
the
Like,
more you build the
we know,
relationship, it's
yeah.
like you kind of, you know, when we need to really sit down and talk about
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
and we will.
Like there's times when like I'll joke around with Tony and it's a joke, but there's times when Tony like puts me in my place. I'm just like, oh damn, fuck, he was right, and I just
Yeah.
start feeling with shit because I'm like, oh fuck, I just got
Yeah. Got
Damn.
told off by coach.
like fuck sakes, that really just happened, you know? Yeah, but I feel like the longer you go into that coaching and like client thing or athlete, becomes easier.
Yeah.
yeah, like it's easier for you to talk as well
Yeah.
to them.
As long as you communicate and you're not, the way you say it is not like condescending or like egotistic or like you don't.
Can we
hurt
have a
each
little
other's
break?
feelings.
What does condescending mean? There's numerous times when people say it, and I'm
It's
just
like,
like,
it's like
It's like you're talking down on someone.
yeah.
can you give me an example?
It's like
Okay, say you wanted to change your. You said your day 5 bench, your day 4 bench was not helping your day 5.
Yeah.
And be like, are you fucking stupid? Why would you say that?
yeah.
Damn, am I condescending? I always do that to Calvin.
Well, there you go. yeah.
No, but we do it as like a friend.
no,
we don't do it to
That's
each
where
other,
it's
yeah.
like it's like
Yeah,
it's
okay,
knowing
okay.
the dynamic
All right,
of.
we're break done.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah, it's where it's like knowing the dynamic of what this relationship is,
Yeah.
and you know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
Where it's like I know if I go off at Tommy, sometimes he'll actually listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, oh, sorry. Like, I'm fuzzy as shit right now. I heard name, I heard Tommy, and I heard listen, and I thought you said Tommy listen. Like right now, I'm like, what? Holy shit! Back to it.
Yeah. So moving coaches. So it's you would say it's okay.
Yeah,
If
like,
needed.
I'm not against people leaving because like if people want to leave, then they can leave. It's just like if it goes into the whole confidence thing that we were talking about too. Like it's like confidence and believing in the process. If you're with a coach and you don't enjoy your training and you don't believe that it'll work,
Yep.
then it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like,
very
you're already
mental.
you're already 1 foot out the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
How if pretend Tommy's the coach? How would you say to Coach Tommy, "I want to leave"?
How do we get to this topic? How did we get to this
We're just doing
topic?
role play now.
Yeah, we're just doing role play now.
Yeah.
How'd I leave? I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, I don't.
I know. Let's switch the roles.
Yeah.
Tony, let's talk first. You know, that's the smart way. To all the lifters out there, the smart way, don't ever think about leaving straight away. Have a talk with them first.
Yeah,
Because
like
maybe it could
yeah.
actually work out instead.
Like
Yeah.
have the conversation with your coach and figure out what's bothering you as an athlete and what you feel like the coach can do better. Like maybe
Yeah.
maybe they're not communicating as much as you need them to, or maybe they're not just listening enough. Like maybe you're like, I feel like this day just doesn't work for me. Like it's not working.
Yeah.
And then you talk to them and be like, hey, it's not working. Can we do something different? And then they might come back at you with an explanation of why we're doing it, or an explanation of like, okay, we can try something else, and then go from there.
Yeah.
But it's like that's why communication is so important. Like knowing, okay, this person really doesn't like this. If
Yeah.
they don't like it, they're not enjoying it.
Yeah.
Let's do something that they can enjoy and feel a bit better with, and then work on that.
Yeah.
Remy's a good one too, actually, where it's like, we used to push pretty hard overall. Like he pushed his primary and secondary days pretty
The
hard.
first ever time you got him, I remember you put him on an 8-week block.
Yeah. Oh, it was sussing things out.
8-week goddamn block.
Yeah, but it's like Remy made progress. Like,
Yeah.
he made
Oh,
really good
heaps,
progress.
yeah,
And I think it
heaps.
was just this last. I guess it's kind of like when we joined this gym. When the gym opened, was like a very rough period of figuring out. Okay, Remy can't push hard anymore,
Yeah.
and we're trying to figure out why. And he was just always fatigued. Okay, and so understanding from his point of view how he felt coming into sessions and what I could do to make him feel better. Like we reduced volume by like half or more.
Fuck.
Like
That's what we're doing right
We
now.
took out so much.
Like we're writing all our chips onto this next block.
Trust me, it works. It's gonna work. But it's like same thing too, like with communicating that the last couple blocks that we had with Toby, where it's like it wasn't moving as well because we used to do fatigue sets into squats and they worked really well, and we decided, okay, let's take it out for a little bit so that we're not getting comfortable with it. And then we knew going into this block that it was gonna feel like shit. And
But
it felt like shit. It felt way worse than I thought it was gonna feel.
But that's because of me. Like I was really stubborn. I'm a really stubborn person. Like I want shit to work.
Yeah.
And there's times where like buy-ins, like you know buy-ins, right? So it's like when you believe something basically.
It's the whole belief.
Yeah, it's a
process.
belief
Oh,
process.
okay, yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what buy-ins is
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
Like I'm really heavy on buy-ins to the point where like I'll try to like be really stubborn on it, and that's fucked. Like it full like baits me.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, we needed this block we knew this block was not going to feel great and we needed it to be chill, but Tommy wanted to push.
Yeah.
Not push. I want it to feel good.
Yeah, he wanted to feel good, and I think it led to him kind of just like spiraling a little bit,
Yeah.
and it just felt
A lot worse.
worse and worse each week.
Yeah.
And now it's calmed down a little bit where it's like, okay, we know we're going into next block and we should feel good next block.
Yeah, because I'm getting blocked next block. Like it's like
You're
there's
getting
like
prescribed.
yeah, prescribed. Like
Yeah, David gets prescribed.
oh, you would understand. You would understand then. Like bro, like it's like imagine you know why you get prescribed because your coach doesn't believe in you.
No, I actually like being prescribed because I do have.
No, you're just too lazy. Like we said the other episode, you're a clout lifter. You want to just go on. Hey guys, David here. What do we have today? All right, we have 95 for a top set double, and then you go lift, play some music over it, and then post it. That's like the vibe, you know.
No, but then like everything's already planned out for me. I was like, okay, just go and do it. So I don't have to think about anything. So that makes my life a bit easier.
It's too
Did you ever
lazy.
feel like, well, last week you asked me if you could go to 160.
Honestly, because I thought that was week. I thought that was the last week.
Ah,
So I was like, I can go heavier, but
Yeah.
then I didn't realize that was the fourth week. So
Damn, you really don't read your program. Did you say you thought it was week 1 as well?
no, because the thing is, I thought we were week 4. Each block is week 4.
yeah, but the last block was 5.
Yeah, that's why I looked at it again. I'm like, oh wait a second, and that's why I walked. I was like, I fucked up.
Haven't you only been with him for 2 blocks as well?
I'm still learning. But yeah, no, I don't mind being prescribed.
I've had stuff like that happen though. Like I had a guy, we're like, oh, we're doing 4-week blocks, and then we'll reset into another 4-week block. And he went to like week 6 somehow, and then it's like, wait, where are you on right now? Because I wrote week 1 and week 2, and I was like, you're doing the same thing as last time. It's like, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, are we doing week 6? I was like, how'd you get the week 6?
Again,
Can you
communication is
Can
key.
you name drop?
But again, that's where communication comes in.
yeah.
So,
But it goes both ways. Where it's like, I should just asked him at some
Yeah.
point.
yeah.
Like honestly, after the 4th week, you should have been like, new block by the way. If somebody knew, I would do that.
I'm pretty sure I said that.
Then whoever that person is, man, you're as fuzzy as me, bro. You're as fuzzy as me.
But like, stuff like that happens, and it's like, you just work around it.
Yeah.
Like me,
gotta be
this whole
flexible.
block, I thought I was on 4s for back downs for squats. It's been 5s this whole block. But for me, it's because I'm so used to having 4s.
Yeah.
Because I go 4s into a top set double, and I have a single. So I'm like, it's gonna be a single into like a 4s. And then I read it like week 4, and I was like, yo,
Wait-
this guy
wait-
did,
wait a
this guy
second.
change it to like week 5? Like, did he change it to 5 at this week, or like, am I bugging out? Because I remember you were like, I'm changing stuff, and I was like, and I was like, he changed this, right? And I'm scrolling throughout the program because it was like a 7-week block. We had like a 2-week deload into 5 weeks,
Yeah.
and then I was like, holy fuck, the whole block has been 5s.
I've been doing it wrong.
Yeah. So that's probably where.
If I were to ever do a program wrong, I would never tell Steve. I'm scared.
Yeah, you would just like, you'd die. Like, I don't think you wouldn't come back the same person.
Yeah, but I like Steve though. He's very forward. It's like wait, hold on, let me reset. But yeah, that's why I like Steve.
Yeah.
I like Steve because he's very forward, and it's like if I know that I want to do really well, and it's like I just have to do whatever I need to do and do everything right to get to that point. And Steve knows that. Steve knows that I want to do well.
Yeah.
So if I tell him like I feel like shit, he's gonna be like, shut up and do better.
Yeah.
And it's like fix everything else and do better. But it's like someone else that's newer, and it's like I kind of want to try it out, and they say they feel like shit, I'm not going to tell them to shut up.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
just,
there's like that whole,
it's
like,
knowing
yeah.
dynamics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if
Like imagine you were like, Tony, I don't really feel that good today. Shut up, David.
do you want to go to Worlds or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
You would feel very like attacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel attacked, and you just feel like I'm not listening to you.
Yeah.
Where it's like I know Steve listens
Yeah.
sometimes.
I mean, same thing with Kara as well. There's some people I have to do watch my language, or say certain things. I can't just be like, just do the exercise or do the rehab. Have you done the rehab? I was like, oh no, I haven't. Or I know they have done it, but haven't really done it. It's just the way I can't just be like
They're like half-assing it.
half-assing it. You kind of know it, but I just
Yeah.
can't be like, well, I told you so. Or some people are very like,
You have to read
Sensitive.
people.
read the
Yeah.
read the people.
You have to
Some
read the
people are
room.
sensitive,
Yeah.
and if you go like, so you haven't done done the shit, they'll just be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially with, I mean, with the guys are older, I can go hard out, tell you guys off. But obviously with the outside people, I was just like, yeah, keep my language, hopefully be more professional, of course. But you guys are let loose a little bit. So
I think that's the cool thing about the powerlifting community as well. Like
Yeah.
I think everyone wants everyone else to get better as well. Like
Yeah.
and we all know each other's routines. Like
Yeah.
we know what people do. We know when people warm up. Like,
yeah,
I think Sammy's a big one where Sammy always walks on the treadmill for like fucking half an hour or some shit.
yeah,
And then he does his rehab stuff.
yeah,
And then the times where I don't see him do it's like, why the fuck aren't you doing your rehab?
yeah,
Like, and then it's just like, oh, I'm lazy. It's like, why? Like, why would you do that? It's like, I'm not his coach or anything. It's just like,
Putting like, let them, just kind of motivating them.
yeah. It's like you motivate them because it's like, okay, they know they want to get better, and I want them to get better too as an athlete.
yeah,
And it's like, why are you not doing the things that you should be doing
yeah,
to get better?
yeah,
Because like we all want to see each other. We all want to see all of us get better.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about the powerlifting community, and this gym as well, this community itself as well. Like, when people get hurt, like everyone kind of tries to chime in,
yeah.
like, in a
Boy,
good way.
when Jesse hurt his rib,
Oh, yeah, there was-
everybody was just like, you need ice? You need this? You need this?
Four or five of us were just sitting in a circle around Jesse, trying to figure out what hurts, what doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it was
'Cause
me, you,
were busy
Cody.
at the
Oh,
moment.
the
Yeah.
client, yeah,
And it's like, we think it's this, we think it's that. And then,
Yeah, it was crazy.
yeah, it's like when someone gets hurt, it's sad. Like, no matter where they are in training, it's like, oh, someone, like, even if you're competing against someone, it's like, you don't want to see someone get hurt.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
You want them to be at their best state, especially if you're at the best state as well.
Yeah.
You don't want to verse like a 80% person.
Yeah, and imagine doing
Yeah.
a prep with someone for like 10, 12 weeks, and you know you're going up against someone,
yeah,
and you see them get hurt, and it's like, oh, you won. But fuck, like,
Yeah,
it wasn't what I wanted
Was
to
it-
be.
wasn't that
you
full
wanted
power?
like a proper full like thinking.
You
Like
wanted
you-
to actually compete against
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a competition.
like a
yeah.
full rivalry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to compete with someone who's like half injured. You're like, oh, I just won by default kind of thing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Why?
I was gonna say some stuff, but I can't. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah. We'll bleep everything I just said now. Alright, we're back.
Well, one of the best feeling is when they actually do the rehab, and then they actually do get better through time and time, and then they even if anything they're hitting, like if anything they're hitting PRs because of that.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the best feelings as well. So one example was Reinhardt. One of his issue was when he was
shoulder.
elbow, when he was doing his bench, all the loading was on his elbow.
Yeah.
And then we just assess, and then we just see what's wrong, and then turns out he had a very weak scapular control. Just figured that out, and then boom, like 2 weeks later he did 142.
Yeah, 142. I remember.
And it was
that,
a big jump, and I was like, oh, that's like shit.
Progress.
It's kind of a good feeling that not just me, there's like his coach as well, and then everyone at the gym, Ben giving advice, and then everything just kind of worked together, and then seeing him
It
push
clicked.
it PR,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, oh shit, he did it, and then we all played a part. So yeah, that was a good feeling.
I think that's also a big difference between like PTs and coaches. Like I think some PTs, like I came from a PT background.
Yep.
And PTs can be pretty stubborn. Like
100%.
we don't like asking other people for help.
Yeah.
And because it's like this is our client base and this is the gym that I work in, and it's like I want to figure it out and I want to make the progress for my clients.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between like PTs and coaches. Whereas coaches are like, I will ask anyone for help.
Yeah.
I'll ask lifters for help. Like even if they're not coaches, like I'll ask people like, oh, you do this and this, you do this and this. Like, why do you do that? Why does your coach do that for you? And it's like, why does it feel good and all that? And you take that into learning, and then implement it into your own programming, and then go from there.
Would you reckon it's more of a ego thing or more of a
100%
poaching thing?
100% ego thing.
100%.
More than poaching?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like the one
I think
poaches.
there's always like
A
that
little-
1% chance that someone is really just trying to poach someone.
Yeah,
And you kind of know, you can kind of tell by the way
Yeah.
they talk.
it's ego, yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
but
fair.
then when it's like an ego thing of like, like they're either putting their ego aside and wanting to learn from other people, or their ego is just getting in the way, and like they can't progress as a coach themselves because they're too stubborn to ask anyone for help.
Mm.
And I feel like that's what, not necessarily like bad coaching, but it's like you could be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a thought and I lost it.
I've been
Even
dazing for the past like 5 minutes, so don't mind me, guys.
even with Kara as well. There's coaches, Karas out there that do want to be better. So how we know that is just they're not doing the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
So if you were to come see me, for example, and then a different Kara, they just adjust, same thing, and they don't really try to look what's wrong or the issue and trying to solve it. It's just, okay, boom, done. That's where you kind of feel like, it's, I don't want to say it's a bad Kara, but it could
They're
be
not, like,
a better
genuinely
Kara.
trying to
Yeah,
help.
it was
Yeah.
like when you were doing my scaps. My scaps has been such a problem. At first, it was actually my scaps.
Yeah.
And we figured out it's actually my lat as well.
Yeah.
Remember you did that lat thing?
Yeah.
And I was atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, well, what are we trying to do? Which movement was it?
This one.
Oh yeah, this one. Like
Yeah.
I remember I couldn't even lift it up.
Yeah, one was like this one, the other one's like this one.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like shit. And then because throughout all the other sessions, we thought it was my scaps.
Yeah.
And then you started touching me, and whoa. You started touching my lats, and I was like, David, is this supposed to really, really hurt? Like,
Yeah.
it's really, really, really tender right now if you press in that one. And you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then
Like, why?
you were like, stand up, and I was like,
Let me
yeah,
try
okay.
something, yeah.
Stand up. Oh.
Because thing is, Kai especially adjustment or whatever, but we do get this reputation where the only thing we do is adjusting. Adjustment is not the tool; it's a tool. You know what I mean? So it's not just that one thing. We are one thing of many things we can do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But again, if adjustment just works for you, then who am I to say that it doesn't help you? So
Yeah.
each to their own.
Yeah, some people do well with just adjustments. Some people do well with no adjustments.
Yeah.
'Cause, like they feel too loose.
Yeah.
Some
just
people
need,
don't
like,
like
a
to get
deep
released.
tissue kind of
Yeah,
thing.
or they need like everything. So if
Yeah.
you feel like you're in a position where your car is only doing the same thing, it's okay to venture somewhere else.
Well,
I think it'll be easier in car because they tell them.
you just don't see them
Yeah,
anymore.
You don't see it anymore, yeah.
Yeah, because you know it's not like you see them like a lot.
Nah.
Or you talk to them every day. You know?
Yeah. With
you
a coach,
talk to them like
yeah,
when you have something like a
yeah,
problem.
yeah. But with the coaching, it's more that you can tell if they,
You can tell when someone's like on the fence.
yeah.
You can tell by the way they respond and things.
Yeah. So with at least with coaches, like let's say you're looking through the profile and then like how would you know if someone moved on without telling you?
They just don't respond anymore.
Oh, true. Yeah.
It's
But
very
then-
rare.
but then-
it's
yeah.
rare. I'm
Rare,
still
like-
taking their money. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they have to cut you off to
they have to
yeah.
message me to be like, hey, I don't want to do coaching anymore,
Yeah.
so they don't stop paying. It's
Yeah,
like,
fair enough. Would you feel cut if? How would you feel if they left?
To somebody that you know is less knowledgeable.
I don't think I've ever thought of another coach as less knowledgeable.
Mm.
Because again, it's like everyone has a different process of learning. Like,
Yeah.
Like every coach that I know has like a different amount of information. Like I go into teaching someone how to deadlift a certain way, and someone else goes another way. Like even with Ben, like me and Ben talk about it a lot because Ben's had a few new clients, and he kind of talks. He likes to think out loud. So
Oh, he does like to
Yeah.
think a lot.
Oh, yeah,
How
sure.
loud.
he talks a lot about this is what I think I should do, and he's like, "Does this make sense?" It's like, "Yeah, it makes sense," but it's not something that I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's where it's like interesting as well. It's like I know that I go through things a certain way, and if someone wants to leave to someone else that thinks another way, it's not like I don't feel like the a worse coach, so to say. It's just a different coach.
Yeah, fair.
It goes back into what we said before. It's like different.
Every coach is
different-
very individualized. Like
Yeah.
everybody
Everyone-
has their own kind
Everyone
of like
believes a
specialty.
different thing.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
approaches and
especially
whatnot.
with the whole recent the whole bench thing, very like Ben loves high volume bench,
Yeah,
and there's people that hate high volume bench
Yeah.
and like high intensity.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
both work. You just gotta find
a
how to
balance
make
of
it-
both.
a
yeah.
balance
Yeah.
of both, or just
Yeah.
find what's optimal.
Copy and pasting it might work for some people.
Yeah.
Somebody like Ben that's pretty advanced, it's probably gonna work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For somebody like us, it might take some adjusting. Like
Yeah,
what we did.
it
yeah.
takes quite a bit of adjusting.
Yeah.
Like because then I heard about the whole like 10x10 thing, and I wanted to try it. And I knew with you, like I wanted to try it with you, but I knew we couldn't just jump straight into it. So
Yeah.
I started trying to sneak in volume here and there, and we already found that it didn't work. Like we didn't get that far.
Yeah.
We did get far because I hit that 150 at like a 7. Remember?
Yeah, and then it just stopped.
I think it stopped because we tried to run it for too long.
Yeah, it was only one block.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. I don't know.
But again, it's
No,
all.
no, it was because we pushed both days. We know
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't push both days.
Yeah.
I hit 150 on the Tuesday. I came into
Oh,
the
yes,
Saturday.
yes, I remember.
Yeah, and I came in out on the Saturday, and I was like, I want to hit 155. I went to like 140, and everything was just like. and I was
And I
like,
think
damn.
I think Kelvin talked a bit about it too on their one. I think Kelvin was speaking about how he himself tried. I don't know if he did a 10x10, but he did a way more volume than he was doing before, and then he hurt himself. He strained his chest or something, and then
I remember that we were there. Yeah,
Yeah, we were
He
there when
kinda
it
like
happened,
it made
yeah.
it like a bit funny or
yeah,
something.
and so
Yeah.
like he knows where he
He's-
cannot handle
yeah.
it, and he's found like a middle line somewhere where it's more volume than before, and it works now. And it's like it's just like the constantly learning of like. You learn new things and you try to implement it, but you have to implement it a certain way
Yeah.
to find what really works, and just trying to push the envelope. Of,
It's like with the machine guns. What I learned from Kelvin yesterday was there's actually 3 ways to do it. We've just been doing it the tier to the halfway.
yeah.
He does it from like here to like that because he struggles from like that's what I mean. Like it's very individualized.
Yeah.
Like he struggles with getting off the chest, so he pumps it like that much. But that just helps him finding that push off that chest.
Yeah.
Like when he's
Yeah.
pausing it. And yeah, it's like it just depends on the person. Some people might struggle on the locking it out phase, and he would program like from like
Like
here
halfway to up.
halfway to up. Yeah,
So I guess it's what the coach's job is to kind of really get to know.
yeah. How
The
they
client.
live,
yeah, it's understanding
See
who
what
they are
works.
as a person, how they lift, and their lifting tendencies.
Yeah.
and going from there.
And see if your approaches work with them or not.
Yeah.
Is it common for you to refer your clients to another coach?
I don't think I ever have, but I've gone to other coaches to ask for help.
Yep.
I go to Kelvin quite a bit. I was just like, I have this client that does this, and this is my thought process. Do you agree with it, or what would you do? And learning off of that.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like to pay attention to other lifters as well. Like, I know Jesse's program pretty well. Like I know what Jesse does day to day,
yeah.
and I've taken a little bit of that. Like we took Jesse's fatigue sets and put him into Tommy.
Yeah.
And it
Oh
worked.
yeah, literally. Yeah, that's why I did fatigue sets because I remember when we first talked. No, we talked about because of Jason and Jesse.
Oh yeah, because there was
'Cause-
other people. There was a few
yeah.
people that did it, and
And then I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
so we
I,
thought about it.
And I was like, but I wouldn't want that. So then it was like, oh wait, that might really work for
yeah,
Tommy
because
because like
it's trying to understand. Okay, like it works for Jesse, but why does it work for Jesse? It works for Jason. Why does it work for Jason?
Yep.
And it's
Why?
like I think it could actually work for Tommy. And then
and it fucking worked.
Yeah.
God knows it worked.
Yeah.
Because we kind of mixed it up. We did it. Does Jesse strip away that last fatigue set in the last week?
sometimes he does.
Yeah, sometimes depending if it's like a peak. So like what we did was when I hit the 240 squat, we took it out. We ran fours into twos for the first block, and then fours into ones, and then we had one more block in 4 into ones. But we stripped away that last week. No fatigue set, and I just went whew,
Yeah.
like I've never felt so good because prior to that week I hit 227.
Yeah,
I had a single after like was it like 205, 200?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, 200 to 205, and that 227 was like at 8.5. Like that was
Yeah,
hard.
so it's like, understanding that if we take away the fatigue single, he can
Maybe
go
I
into
could-
a top set fresh.
And then I came to that top set on the week after, hungover as shit.
Yeah.
Went absolutely crazy. Went absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Like that PR was probably like one of the most craziest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally cried over there. It was crazy.
And we're trying to find like it's that kind of thing of seeing other lifters do certain things and trying to understand why they do it and trying to implement that into my own programming.
Yeah.
And also make your athlete buy it in. Because I bought that shit in. Like,
Yeah.
I cash all my
That's
chips
because
into
we
that
talked
thing.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like other people don't give a shit about what they program, and I'll just write it in because I know it will work.
Yeah.
And there's people that want to know, okay, why are we doing this? And then I'll explain, like, this is why this person does this because of this.
Yeah.
And you're this kind of lifter, and it's very similar, so we can try.
Maybe
it
that's why
and-
we haven't been really progressing, because we haven't talked about that. Like,
We talked
stuff.
about what the hell your block was going to be.
oh yeah, we did. We literally
We
maybe
talked for the longest we've ever talked.
maybe we should like stop making me have implementations into like the program, because as soon as I started like having like a say in my program, this shit happened. So maybe that's a
But it's
problem.
okay. Like next block will be a lot better.
Yeah, because I'm just straight like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the kind
Helping-
of like the process that I go through of just like learning through other people. I learn the most through other people, and I learn the most through just paying attention to how my lifters react.
Mm.
It's like if their body goes well, then we keep going. If it doesn't work, then we adjust other things. But it's
Yeah.
also giving them enough time to let us see if it works or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's also the people that like certain people don't buy into things as fast. Like it's when you change something, it's gonna feel shit for 2-3 weeks, and it's like, okay, listen, like we know it feels shit right now, but give it a week or two, and it'll feel better. And if it doesn't feel better, we change it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also with me and Tony, I do ask Tony a lot of questions, especially when I started. One of the biggest example is knee caving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought when squatting, knee caving shouldn't really be a thing. But the more
Oh yeah.
yeah.
When I first went to you and like I came for like glute pain,
Yeah.
you're like, why are you knee caving? And I was like, oh fuck, wait, but like I thought I'm allowed to do it. Because
Yeah.
Tony said I'm allowed to do it.
Yeah.
And it was just like that realm of like, oh shit, my coach said this, but my chiro said this. Which
Yeah.
which one should I listen to?
Yeah. But then also
kind of combining the two
yeah.
kind of really helped.
Also,
yeah.
obviously, because when I first started, powerlifting is so different compared to just normal gym stuff. And then, yeah, going to Tony and asking these questions like, oh no, knee caving is actually normal. And then, out of curiosity, I'll do my research and I'll just think about it. And it's like, oh,
You
it does,
didn't
it does. I didn't believe. I just like, I was like,
you didn't understand.
I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, now I'm just, I think, going, a year in now, I learned a lot. So yeah, knee caving is kind of like,
It's a very sensitive
It's
topic, though.
a very sensitive topic.
A lot
'cause
of people
it's
have
very
their different
broad.
beliefs,
It's very
yeah.
broad because everything is to an extent. So knee caving is good, but obviously to an extent. If your knees are kissing each other, like literally kissing
You
each
can
other.
look at
That's kinda-
Simon's 275. Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's when we're like, okay, knee
Oh
caving is a
my
little bit
God.
fucked up. But
Because
obviously,
you felt like shit doing that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, for us, it's if it causes pain, if it plateaus your
Yeah.
lifts, and it's just discomfort, then yes, that knee
You
caving
need
for
to- we
you,
need to find the different
yeah,
way
that
to
knee
do it.
caving for you does not work, or
Yeah.
it's not.
Or it's like
not, it's not a good
also
thing.
just like to what extent are you caving as well? Like
Yeah,
some people
to an
cave a
extent.
lot, some people don't cave
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Like, do I? I have like a
You
tiny.
have
tiny.
like a tiny
mine's
cave.
a
That was like
small.
me.
Yeah.
Remember when I had those like 10-second grind squats?
That was
Because of me knee caving.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I would cave in way too much and I lose power. Because
Yeah.
then your center of gravity, whatever,
Yeah.
is just messed up.
Yeah, but something like
And,
that is a
yeah.
good example of okay, that's too much knee caving,
Yeah,
or
to an extent,
knee caving
yeah.
is the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or let's say Tony does knee cave, but I ask him, oh, how does it feel? This and this. He's like, oh no, I feel good. Like that knee cave helped me.
I feel power.
Crack.
Yeah, like yeah.
Wait, it's gonna crack. ASMR. Do you hear it?
No.
Oh, there you
that
go.
one.
Yeah. Wow.
But anyways, where Tony does knee cave, for example, and then we ask him, oh, how does it feel? Does it any pain, any discomfort? It's like, no, if anything, knee cave helps me push hard. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well,
That's why
if it
it's
works for you, it
better
works for
than me.
you. So I guess learning that as well, like everything is always good. Every movement is good, obviously to an extent. So that's why the question is always, and the answer is
It's-
always so broad.
it's
we
very-
just,
it's
did
very
we just
gray
run in a
zone.
circle?
Everything's very individual.
Yeah.
Did we just run in a circle?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like we just ran back into yapped.
Because you distracted us, and then you had to bring back to come out. You
My
cunt.
bad. Yeah, I was like, I swear to God, I just had deja vu.
No, I was gonna end there, and then you kept talking. I was like, oh fuck, not gonna think.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
where, like
there's always a grey zone.
yeah, it's
to everyone.
It's I think it's just it's more on the practitioner or the coach itself to understand what's the best way to go about making your lift better.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you can't just chuck in, oh, DK works for me. You're
Yeah.
good at DK now.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
start running into injuries and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, like it's.
I want you to kiss your knees right now. Do it. It will work. I
And then
swear
it's
to
just
God.
feeling pain.
Why can't I push?
Because it works for Tommy, but it doesn't work for Tony. So, yeah, it definitely personalized.
Yeah, but
Communication as well.
Yeah, that's our job to figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And also on the powerlifter to communicate what they're feeling as well. So if they're doing it and then just like, oh, it's good. But
Yeah, people there's actually people that just blindly do it even if it feels like shit.
yeah. Or even like it is pain, but they're like, oh, it's good. This is what I should be feeling.
There's
But
also there's also people that don't understand what pain is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's oh my god.
Dylan,
Some people think that soreness and pain is the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
we're gonna keep this name in there. Dylan. Quite literally, Dylan. This guy thought stinging pain was soreness. Yeah. He felt like a jolt in his back, and he was like, "Yeah, it's just really, really sore."
Yeah, because he told me it felt sore. It's like, okay, it's not that bad then. And then I see him in person and it's like I can't sit down. And I was like, what? Why?
That's
And it's like,
pain.
oh, but it feels like there's something stabbing. What? What?
Yeah, you do, that's why yes, it's on us to kind of learn and like identify these things, but
Like,
it works both ways. You guys got to communicate
Yeah,
your
it's-
issues. If you're like bedridden and then you come to the gym,
I
you
feel
do
kind of
squats,
sore.
and you're just like shaking. It's like, oh no, that was good. I felt amazing. That you did not feel amazing. You like if you have shooting pain, then make sure you say every detail. I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's
like
a
we
big
need
thing
to
as
know
well.
those things so we can make adjustments.
Yeah.
so we can actually help.
Yeah,
If,
so it actually helps.
even if
Yeah.
you think it sounds dumb, at least the coach can be like,
I don't
wait
think
a
there's-
second.
Yeah, there's no dumb questions.
There's no
when it
dumb
comes to, like,
questions.
There's
training.
pretty dumb injuries though.
There's dumb.
Oh yeah,
injuries.
dumb injuries. Yeah. But yeah, just I reckon that's where talking on the powerlifter side, even just the little side of like, oh, I feel tingling, I feel numbing. It's these key words that kind of makes us wait a second. Numbing? Did you say numbing?
Yeah.
Or did you say burning sensation? That's not normal.
Burning sensation.
Yeah.
Is burning sensation pain?
Depends.
It could be burning
It
without
depends.
What would that feel? What would that be?
Do you want to find out? Well, that's like communication is so important. If you feel cold, oh, that's the worst. If you doing the lift and your legs feels cold or weak, tell them.
When we had fucking knee sleeves too small, bro.
Oh my god! Oh, actually, no, I never went through that problem.
I have.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you see, unlike you, wait, I'm just gonna shut up. Let's keep it
I
going.
went through. I think I had a comp last year. I don't remember. Last year or 2 years ago, where I was squatting, and then on my third attempt squats, I couldn't feel my foot.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
shit.
at Hunter, wasn't
Yeah, it was
it?
at Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah, I did my third attempt squats. I unwrapped the weight. I took my first step, and I didn't feel myself step, and I wasn't sure if it was
Oh
there.
my goodness.
My foot was numb,
Shit.
and I was just like, I actually
was
just
like,
had to go
"Yo."
through the. Huh?
You were so PL for me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I had to get. I cramped
This is
up
completely
so.
unrelated, by the way, to
Yeah.
the injury.
Yeah.
Like I wore these knee sleeves, and like they were. I think it was Vincent's knee sleeves, and it was small, but I'm using a medium, but I couldn't get it in time. Yeah, but
So we just went with whatever we could.
yeah, so I was wearing smalls, and like I remember first attempts, I was like, I can't like pull my toes back. Like I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that should be fine. I went to squat first attempt. I did not have any. What is this called?
Hinge.
No, not a hinge.
Oh, you-
my
like
ankles.
ank-
My ankles
yeah.
weren't moving. It was all my
Yeah.
hips. So I was squatting like this. And I was like, fuck! And I
Yeah.
started cramping, and I'm running at the back, and I'm like, oh, something feels really weird.
Yeah.
And I think
And
you,
then-
you didn't say anything about cramping, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's knowing the lifter too. Like I knew after the first squat, I was like, this guy's fucked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you didn't say anything until like a few attempts later. It's
Second,
like,
I was
yeah.
like, second attempt, end of second attempt, I was like, just letting you know, Tony, like, I didn't feel that good in the first.
And I
It
was like, yeah,
fuck yeah, I do.
can see it. Right?
And like, I remember there was like a physio, in-house physio at that comp.
Yeah.
And like, they were trying to put their fingers into my knee sleeves, and they're like, bro, like your legs are like fat as shit, and like you're wearing like the most tightest knee sleeves I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so that's the reason why it's fucked.
It's very important because sometimes it gets to the point where they do get injured. They come to see me, and I'm like, "Oh, you're fucked."
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, we've got a lot of work to do now. But yeah,
But it's like some things can be like some
Avoided.
injuries are easily avoidable. Or
Yeah.
It's just like you can manage them very early on.
100%,
Yeah,
100%.
and
Just
it's
by
like, if
saying
you can-
something.
yeah, if you can catch up with them early on by telling your coach or telling your chiro or physio,
Yeah.
then you can lift for longer, lift better Like,
Yeah.
you can lift healthier,
Yeah.
and you can get back into what you were doing like in a few days rather than a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather you tell me your injuries every day than you tell me like too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause
we
then it
don't-
becomes-
we don't want to
yeah.
see worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But communication does really play both ways. So it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we'll close it off there.
Yeah, that's a good ending.
Yeah.
Communication.
Yeah. Communication is key. That can be the title.
Not just in powerlifting, in life, relationships,
Yeah.
and friendships. So communication is key to life, guys. Key for a better friendship relationship.
Yeah. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Done.